You remember being braver than you were, kinder than the evidence suggests, more certain, more composed, more right than anyone who was actually in the room with you would likely confirm. Not dramatically, not in ways that feel like lying. The memory just settles slightly in your favor, quietly, without announcement. And by the time it's stored, it already feels true. When people get caught in a misremembering, when someone else's version of events contradicts theirs, the instinct is usually to assume bad faith, defensiveness, revisionism, someone protecting themselves from accountability. The word for it is not generous. We call it gaslighting or denial or ego. But most of the time, neither person is lying. Both are telling the truth as their brain recorded it. And that is the more unsettling possibility. Memory is not a recording. It never was. Each time you recall something, your brain reconstructs it from fragments. And in that reconstruction, it makes choices. Quiet, automatic, largely invisible choices about what to keep, what to soften, and what to rewrite entirely. The editor is not you. It is the part of your brain tasked with keeping your sense of self intact. Cognitive scientists call this motivated forgetting, the well-documented tendency for memory to bend towards self-consistency. Elizabeth Loftus spent decades demonstrating how easily false memories form, not through deception, but through the ordinary machinery of recall. Every time a memory is accessed, it becomes temporarily unstable, open to revision, before being stored again. What gets stored is not the original event. It is the event as it now needs to be, given who you currently believe yourself to be. The brain is not trying to deceive you. It is trying to protect the coherence of your identity. A self that is consistent, capable, and defensible is a self that functions. Accurate but destabilizing memories are, from the brain's perspective, a liability. This tendency runs deepest in people whose sense of self was built in conditions where it felt fragile, where being wrong carried consequences, where a particular self-image, competent, good, worthy, was not a given, but something that had to be maintained. The nervous system that learned to protect that image early does not stop protecting it in adulthood. It extends the same vigilance into memory itself, smoothing the record wherever the record threatens to destabilize what was so carefully built. This is not a flaw unique to defensive or fragile people. Research consistently shows it operates across the full range of human psychology. The degree varies. Some people hold more tolerance for self-implicating memory than others, but the mechanism is universal. No one remembers the past with perfect accuracy. The question is only where and how significantly the editing occurs. Here is the paradox. The more stable and certain your sense of self, the more aggressively the brain rewrites history to protect it. A fixed identity requires a fixed past. So the people who are most convinced they remember things accurately are often the ones whose memory has been most thoroughly curated. Uncertainty about the self, uncomfortable as it is, actually produces more honest recall, because there is less at stake in the remembering. If your memory of yourself is more flattering than other people's memories of you, that is not evidence of dishonesty. It is evidence of a brain doing exactly what brains do, preserving the self well enough to keep going. The rewriting is not a moral failure. It is maintenance, the kind that happens in the background, without permission asked or given, because the alternative, carrying every failure in full fidelity, is more than most nervous systems are built to hold. There is a related thread about what happens when you encounter a memory that the editing failed to reach. The ones that stayed sharp and unflattering. Why those particular ones survived, and what the brain's decision to keep them intact is actually telling you. That one is next if you want it.